We begin on the morning of Thursday, the 18th of April. It's hard to believe you've only been here for a few days, given the amount of carnage you've created already. We're in the breakfast room at the Salaam guest house, and I think we'll start with a chap called Owl coming in. Daff, as you know, has been, well, what you find out, he's been reassigned. You may remember he infiltrated himself into the entourage of the celebrity actress in the Club Nebula. So there's been some communication, Mrs. Core will tell you this as well, because she's in touch with Naylor back at HQ, and they've decided to reassign Daff, given his social standing, in with the celeb. So he's going to be elsewhere on Prospero's dream, living the high life, mixing with the rich and famous, and all the time sending, hopefully, intel back, which might in turn creep back to you at some point.
Is that not going to affect our cover story of a stag do? Because he was our principal in the stag do.
That's what you've got to decide, but I would imagine now the disguise with the Hawaiian shirts and all that is pretty dead in the water.
It was good while it lasted.
It was.
So now disco jackets instead. Nice sequins.
Baseball jackets with AT5 logos. All right, so Al has been reassigned from his previous mission. I'm sure he is able to introduce himself, tell you a little bit about his background. He is a member of Assault Team 5. He was in the batch that you were in, but he wasn't in your team at the time. So you have seen him around on the base before. You got a sort of nodding acquaintance kind of thing. And of course, Mrs. K has had him all checked out as you were checked out. So is 100% legitimate member of AT5. So if you want to have a little introduction session.
Yeah, I think Al will probably come in with his kit bag on his shoulder in a Hawaiian shirt, in golden aviators, and just come in, lads on tour! Long time no see, lads. How you doing?
Al, I see you've not caught up on the latest intel then.
Yeah, I'd lose the shirt, Al.
Yeah, Hawaiian shirts are out.
Oh. What's it now?
Just casual. Just cash. You know.
Hey, I've got some casual gear, that'll do.
Yeah.
Just make sure you've got a balaclava or something in your pocket in case it's needed.
But he'll come in, he'll head in, throw his kit bag down. Are we all in like a shared room?
You've got a sort of suite. So what we've got here, we've got the ground floor is Mrs. Core, the landlady's living quarters, and her nephew Jazz and his wife Saina. They run the place. It's all very secure. These are some sort of operatives is all you can know really about them. So you've got the ground floor. You've got then 2 floors with rooms, and we see the other tenants in the pictures there. And then you've got the top floor, which is like a suite. So you've got a bedroom each and a living area, kitchenette, that kind of thing.
Okay.
You might as well check your kit in Daff's room.
Yeah. He'll make himself at home in his room and then come out and introduce himself properly. Because I think we know of each other, but probably only brief conversations at like the mess hall or something.
By sight sort of thing.
Yeah, we've probably never worked with each other, have we? I don't think anybody worked with anybody until training, have they?
No.
No, that's it. And I say, Al was assigned. You were all assigned into like 5-person squads. So Al was in another squad, but he's just completed another mission. So I think just a quick bit about your background and your particular skill set will do.
He'll give like a proper introduction, a bit of his history. He's military. Well, he was military. He became a combat engineer, mainly a demolitionist, because he loves blowing stuff up. Found himself deployed for a long time in a brutal behind enemy lines type jobby on an ice planet, which saw most of his squad dead and saw him lose 3 fingers off of his.
Which 3?
We'll say left hand. And after that, After that, he retired, started up a business with the other survivors of his unit, and found it incredibly boring. And as soon as news of a special unit was set up, was sort of came his way, he immediately signed up. He's a small guy. I think he's 5'6". There's not much to him. He doesn't have much hair, but he's got a very nicely trimmed mustache. And now that he's in covert ops, I think he's working on a short beard.
No.
But I don't know. We've come from a success on his old team.
Yeah. You managed whatever you had to blow up. You managed to blow it up. So that's that counts as success.
So, what have you been told? Anything in particular about Prospero's dream, or about? Have you had any added intel since we've been here and you've arrived? Did you get anything extra on the way, for example?
I've just had the same briefing that you had, and your cover story. A bit too late.
Yes, unfortunately, things took a little bit of a turn, as we explained before. So,
yeah, but things are very fluid in this team.
But actually, I'm thinking, with your explosives expertise, I think maybe one of the next stops we're going to look at is this drug den in Copper Lane that's producing the jelly milk. I mean, maybe we could call ourselves the disruptors if we manage to take that out a bit. So maybe that's something where your expertise will come in very handy.
What do you know about it?
Well, nothing yet. We just know that that's where they're making the jelly milk because we had this information from an encrypted drive, which we managed to find.
We only got the information last night, really. So we've not had time to recon or anything yet.
Yeah, exactly. We've only just sort of figured out.
I mean, would Al know anything about this drug in particular? I mean, drug labs are normally not the safest environments in terms of flammables.
No, jelly milk that the Aztec Kings have been producing is a very new drug on the Dream. I mean, drugs are rife here. Prospero's Dream is basically a huge criminally run city in space, and each area has its own gangs running it. Drugs is one of the major currencies. Everyone on the Dream is in debt. Everyone is struggling. Everyone's trying to get off of it. The security forces, by and large, are very corrupt. The main cartel is called the Bratva. They run and oversee everything. They're the top dogs. But you're working your way in through the smaller gangs.
While we're chatting over the breakfast table, I think, I'll just had a thought. It's like, well, now we've taken out Gregarious. I mean, we know Hobbs is still around, his enforcer. We got rid of Doc, the medic. We got rid of two of the others. If they,
the other Manic is it Manic is the other one that's still around? Is it?
Yeah. If theirs is the jelly milk business, do we think that is there a potential that we could move into that business? You know, we know where the factory is. If we could co-opt it, maybe take it over.
I think things are in the work for a new boss anyway. Well, I was out yesterday and looking around, I took a swing past the place, and a large black car pulled up with what was obviously one of the Bratva. Went in, obviously took words, so I don't think we'd get in that easy. They're obviously putting people in place. I don't think it'd be that easy there. They seem to quickly close. Drugs were still being moved on the street, in the street corners, so I took a look at them. Yeah. In fact, it was probably a case of a lot of the guys that were doing the street dealing were on a bit of a bonus because they're not passing a lump of money up the chain at the moment.
Is that why you were sneaking back in at 5 o'clock this morning?
Oh no, that was for other reasons. It was to do with the reasons why I went out yesterday as well, with the young lady from the casino.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Which when we're talking a bit more privately, I'll like to run something past everybody.
Okay, well, speaking of ladies from the casino, only Sammy, we've got Sammy, Tira and Jenna who work at Caesar's. Sammy comes down yawning. The other two are still up in bed. They had a late night shift last night. The rest of the tenants are mostly there. Craig is still in his own room, recovering from his ordeal. You've got Mr. Shimchek, the teacher, sat over in the corner. You've got the twins sitting in another corner. And the three dockers, Adio, Dean and Cassia, things seem a little bit, not heated there, but they're obviously pissed off. And you're going to hear over the news at some point the situation between the unions and the Stratemeyer Corporation is rapidly deteriorating. In fact, the unions have just called a strike, and basically they're going to be putting a blockade on any ships coming in or out of Prospero's Dream. So these three are not, they kind of understand why that is happening, but they're not happy with it because obviously no work means no pay. The Stratemeyer Corporation, by the way, I know Eric had some information on those. I think you might have mentioned that before. But this is the main news topic at the moment on the Dream.
Hey, it's all anyone was talking about.
Could make it awkward for us if we need to get off quick as well, then. There's a blockade. Well,
in fact, Al got in just in time. He was on one of the last ships coming in before the blockade.
So, a little bit of intel that I've done before. The Stratemeyer Corporation appear, although they've got no official presence on Prospero's Dream, they seem to be involved with drug trafficking of some sort, numerous drugs. But there's speculation they're interested in a rumoured drug that eases and enhances the fitting use of cyber mods. So they seem to be having some influence. It wouldn't surprise me if they're involved with at least one of the gangs, or maybe the top gang. But yeah, it's a strange one, being it corporate.
Definitely not jelly milk. And from what I saw of the ones in that room that were under their hoods, they were way out of it. There's no enhancement involved with that one.
What do they look like? What does it do?
What, jelly milk?
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be an inhaling thing. I'll explain. You remember the 50s style big hairdresser do's, the big cones that go over people's heads that you see in some of them old movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, and they sort of sit under one, and then there's this misty, cloudy stuff. Well, milky, I suppose, probably where it gets the milky bit from. And they just seem to be there and completely spaced out.
They turn to jelly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I didn't poke one or prod one. I suppose I missed out there. Could have.
Well, next time, give them a poke.
Yeah. We'd already racked up a few bodies by then, so prodding a few of them on the way out might have been, if we took them out of their hoods and that on the way out. In fact, they could, if the place was burning down, they'd have burnt down with it. They were in the panic that we set up to cover our escape, and we came out through that room where they were.
The interesting thing with the unions and Stratemeyer is, again, from what you overhear from the talk from these three, and it's fairly common knowledge, is the unions are unhappy with the Bratva because Stratemeyer have, basically kidnapped and are holding hostage. They've seized a number of Union freighters and their crews, and Bratva are not using Tempest, the security service, they're not using them at all at the moment. The Union are calling for Tempest to go and rescue these hostages, which, they'd be capable of doing, but there doesn't seem to be anything happening there. So there's like another source of tension as well.
So the Bratva linked to the Union?
Yeah, well, it's everything is kind of linked with everyone else, not in always very savoury ways.
So the Bratva, from what we can read, are basically telling Tempest to not do the rescue, even though the unions are asking for it.
Yeah.
So they're kind of standing in the way.
That's it. Yeah.
So Bratva, from what I'm sort of getting the image of, they're sort of got their fingers in everything and a bit mafia-like.
Yeah, totally.
Seem to be, yeah.
So they just sit on top and get a cut of everything.
And get a cut of it, yeah. I'm thinking sort of the old New Jersey type mafia, the garbage trucks and that type, yeah. That's
Waste
the one. That's the word I
disposal.
was looking for. Yeah,
Sopranos.
but yeah, they do seem that type of tier, but they are the top. They seem to run most of the casinos, from what I've found out.
Are we angling to get into the Bratva rather than? I know there's these other gangs, but is the final destination to get into the Bratva and get contact in there to find out what they're doing? I guess that's the final, or that's the aim, right?
Well, our brief was to disrupt everything and take them out. So I'd have thought maybe siding and stirring it up, pretending to be part of the Union.
Rile them up a bit.
Maybe get the Union guys, or get on the side with the Union guys, and then maybe Al there could maybe go and blow up a few garbage trucks, as it were, stir things up.
I guess the only thing to be aware of, Al, is as you're probably aware, we are on a space station in the middle of space, and blowing stuff up does cause punctures. And as we know from previous experience, any small fires or anything do tend to get jumped on quite quickly. So just be aware.
But they do make for good diversions, which is why well, that's why I used the microwave with the blow pad and the petrol. It wasn't going to be a fire, but it was going to be enough to cause a panic and set off alarms and have people running all over the place.
I was going to say, it sounds like a good diversion.
It's the one reliable thing on Prospero's dream is the fire service. They're beyond any sort of bribery or anything else. Because, in a city, if your rival's sort of tavern burns down or something, so what? On a spaceship, even a bigger spaceship as this, then, everyone potentially suffers.
Well, there's our next cover story then. We're fire inspectors.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Fire safety team. What?
Fire safety
Everyone's
team, yeah.
nightmare.
Spot check.
Yeah.
OSHA. Space OSHA.
The space HSE.
Yeah.
Clever way of getting. We've got to install some fire safety doors. We'll keep the keys to them.
So all this chat is going on, and you can be talking a bit with the dockers there and everything else. The twins don't really engage. Mr. Simchek is pleasant enough, but he's not really interested in what's going on. He's a maths teacher, quiet sort of guy. However, there is a disturbance outside, and you hear some shouting going on. And Saina, who goes to see what's happening, is rudely pushed aside by a young man who barges his way into the room and is shouting, "Where's Jenna? I need to speak to Jenna. Where is the bitch?"
I think I've got this.
Oh yeah, I'll watch Todd do his thing. It's like, okay.
I'll just stand up and casually put myself in front of him, but not quite in his face. Well, she was working last night, and she didn't get much sleep either after that. So, who are you?
What the fuck are you? What are you talking about? I want to see her now. Get her down here now. Well, Sammy stands up and goes, "Oh, Alessandro, for fuck's sake, just go home, will you? Just leave her alone. She's not interested. She told you this." Mrs. Core also comes flying out of the back, and she's like 5'1". She interposes herself between Todd and Alessandro, and very firmly tells him to leave. And he kind of takes half a step towards her. She reaches out a hand, and Todd, you're quite close. You can see she just appears to barely touch him. But Alessandro crumples in obvious pain. And by that time, Jazz is out and gives him the bum's rush out of the door, out into the hall, and then kicks him out into the street.
Oh,
And the whole room sort of looks at Mrs. Core and goes, "Ooh." This is a side of her no one has seen before, I imagine.
I should just whisper in her ear. Nice.
Thank you.
I've obviously worked out what nerve cluster she hit.
What was all that about?
Obviously, it's somebody who, an ex, or somebody who thinks they're an ex, or thinks they're the current. And, well, Jenna's obviously not interested. doesn't seem like a new thing. It seems like it's happened before, because they seem to know him.
All right, okay, fair enough.
I shall ask Mrs. K, is he anybody we should be worried about?
She doesn't really know. She's never seen him before. Sammy starts to explain, and it's about then that Tira and Jenna come down anyway for breakfast.
But I was going to slip out and follow him.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can do that. All right. Is not going to be easy, not going to be difficult to track because he's totally unaware. He's obviously furious and raging. You know, he kicks a lamppost on the way out and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just want to see who he goes, where he goes. Yeah, is he likely to be a danger? And if he is,
Eliminate him.
I'll leave the body in a dumpster somewhere.
Oh god, there's another serial killer on Prospero's dream, as if there weren't enough already. Okay. Meanwhile, what is happening back is a bit more of a heated discussion, and Jenna explains that she and Alessandro, he works at the casino, he's a croupier. They had a bit of a thing going, but she told him the other week she didn't want to see him anymore, and the guy's got a bit of a temper. Mrs. Core is more disturbed at how he got in the building because, you know, it's a key code on the door and everything else. And Jenna kind of says, well, I brought him back once. Maybe he saw me when I input the key code. Perhaps he remembered the code. And Mrs. Core sort of gives her a real telling off. And the immediate thing to do is change the code on the door, of course.
Apart from Todd, who's outside, who won't be able to get back in.
Todd's going to have to knock when he comes back. He's going to have to ring the doorbell. Well, yeah, you can follow him, and he just disappears off in through the market. And, you know, I mean, you can... How long do you want to track him for?
No, I just want to make sure that he's not likely to be a danger or gone running off to some kind of gang or whatever.
Okay. Well, he doesn't seem to be meeting with anyone or anything.
Seems harmless, does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll turn and head back to them. And
Okay.
stand there for 4 or 5 attempts on the door trying to get him.
Someone will let you in eventually. Jazz will let you in eventually. Goes,
I was just going to hack it.
oh, I wouldn't do that. Not with the mood she's in at the moment. I really wouldn't do that.
Just go through my swiped cards and find one that...
We're all just slowly drinking coffee, watching Todd struggle to get in.
As you are out there, Todd, by the way, you're pressing in the numbers. There is a little bit of deja vu and a large red centipede runs across your hand.
I'll flick it up in the air and then bat it with the other hand out into the street somewhere.
As you're coming in, then Captain Maeve arrives as well from the security forces. Everyone else is starting to finish up their breakfast now and moving off, although Adio and Dean and Cassie have got no work to go to. But nonetheless, everyone's leaving the dining room. Maeve goes, oh, great, I've got you all here. Come in here quick, I need to have a word.
Island after her.
So, basically what she tells you is Hobbs, Skullface, is on the rampage. There have been questionings, beatings. There's already been one hit on a Razor Dog member in Copper Lane. A woman's body was found in the alley this morning by Club Nebula. Very badly beaten. The only thing, no chance of IDing at the moment. The only thing they found were chain marks on the ankle, as though the woman had been chained up somewhere. But more disturbing than that, orders have come in from up high that she is to give access to all the SFPD CCTV footage from the last 3 days. Someone is coming in later today to view it all. She doesn't know who that person is.
Are we on that footage?
Well, given that you were gallivanting around in Hawaiian shirts, at least 2 clubs and a bar and various other places, it's highly likely you're going to be somewhere on that footage.
But we cleared the CCTV footage, or I did, inside Club Nebula.
Yes. Yeah.
And I went to Black Hoodie and Balaclava fairly early on, before we went in, because you left me outside.
Us being around Prospero's Dream is fine, because we're there doing stuff. We go into different clubs, we go to different bars, we go to Nebula. We're in Nebula. Things happen. Then we're seen leaving Nebula. What is there to worry about?
Nothing really. You went in through the main door, didn't you?
Yeah. We left through the main door.
You came out through the main door.
Mhm.
In the panic.
Yeah, was there fire and screaming at the same time?
No. There was a guy waving a shotgun about, but I just put myself between them and him and just kept spoiling his aim because...
You spoiled his aim by pushing clubgoers in front of you. I suppose you could call that spoiling his aim.
We're not proud.
I was just going to ask, is Maeve, like, with our crew, is she linked to... Is she basically one of us, or is she just someone who is at this hostel?
She's the captain of the local, it's called Security Force Prospero's Dream, the local police force. Now, 99% of your police here are on backhanders and bungs, but Maeve is a good friend of Mrs. K, and she's one of the few coppers here who will help you and you can rely on. She's got a vague idea of why you're here and where you're from. She doesn't really want to know any more than that, and she's already said she'll help you out where she can. So what she's willing to do here, if one of you wants to go back to the station with her, she's quite happy for you to sit through and review the CCTV footage, and should there be any minor glitches or anything like that, because this equipment can be quite fragile, then, well, what happens. As long as she doesn't see it happening, she doesn't know about it.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest.
Sounds like something for you, Eric.
I'd be more than happy to go with Maeve to just check that everything is as it should be with this footage.
And obviously there's going to be private cameras as well, but the SFPD stuff is that's all your prime positions, your main junctions, your market, all that sort of stuff.
Which we dodged most of them coming back.
Yeah, I mean, the routes now to dodge all the major stuff. I mean, most shops and places and bars will have their own CCTV, but that's going to take a while for anyone to round up. Hobbs or whoever has got to go around all the places. It seems at the moment is doing more the Long Good Friday thing of just rounding everyone up, taking them to a warehouse somewhere, hanging them upside down by their feet and asking them questions.
Nice. Just so we got access to 3 days worth of this stuff, right? Of the footage. Does it have coverage of Copper Lane? And because we know the location of the drug factory, is that included in this coverage?
There'll be coverage of the outskirts of Copper Lane, but the further you go into it, the less there is, and anything that's put up tends to be recycled very quickly.
Okay. Do we know where Hobbs... maybe I'll say this to Maeve. Do you as SFPD, do you know where Hobbs is generally found? Has he got a hangout? Has he got not an address, but has he got a gang place he resides or anything like that? Is there a known location for him generally?
Well, it seems that most of them sort of bunks at the Club Nebula most of the time, but he's bound to have a flat or an apartment somewhere.
Right,
or,
okay.
Or he probably cuckoos in a few places, that kind of thing.
But you don't know that as a force?
No, they wouldn't know exactly because, again, she's never been charged with checking him out because, orders.
Eric, if you're going to go back and look at this footage, I'll go and park myself outside Nebula, see if he turns up, and follow him and try and put a location where he is in case we need to have a talk. Either that or I can show Al the around, get him familiar with routes and stuff.
Yeah, let's have the tour.
I was also thinking, do we want to contact Hobbs to say we've got information?
Well, I could do that back at the club because he may have seen... Well, I don't think anybody saw me when I slipped in and made contact with Grigori. But I could say that, yeah.
Just trying to think how we can mess with his mind a bit and stoke the fires a bit more. I know the Bratva have been involved, but maybe we could, if he's on a rampage, then it's easy to push someone's buttons when they're not quite thinking clearly, and I'm just thinking that may be a way in to cause more mayhem.
Who is Hobbs? Is he with the Aztec Kings?
Yeah, he was like their enforcer. He's got like a big tattooed skull face and everything.
Right.
And he was good friends. I think he grew up with Gregorio, who was the head of the gang. So I think that's probably why he's pretty peeved.
So he could be the new boss quite easily.
Potentially. Not the sort of guy you want to take back to your mum for Sunday dinner or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'd be the sort of guy that the Bratva would want.
Yeah, but if he's in a position where he's going a bit mental, then maybe we could push him over the edge.
Yeah, we can push him over the edge, but the Bratva might not want him to be taken over the business because Grigori, when I spoke to him, was very... he came across as knowing a lot more and being a lot more intelligent than he acted, whereas Hobbs seems to be just, yeah, what you see is what you get.
It could be that Hobbs is taking out his competition. And if he's the only one left that's got respect, is he someone that we would want in charge?
Yeah, but the way that the Bratva seem to work, though, even if he went and took everybody out, they'd still put their own person in, I think.
Right.
I don't think they're... Depends how settled they want it. They might be happy just to let the Razor Kings take over the lot, which may have been why they went there and told him. And that could have tricked him over the edge, thinking he was going to inherit.
Meek shall inherit the earth. Not someone you'd call Meek, this guy. Yeah, I mean, you've had sort of very limited dealings with him, but Todd is spot on with his assessment there, really. Hobbs is the enforcer for a reason. And, you know, it was bad enough what you saw Doc was doing, drilling Craig Woo's teeth and all that kind of stuff. And the whole gang has a reputation for psychotic violence in general.
Yeah, we may have done the Bratva a big favour.
So I'm going to go with Maeve, and do what I've got to do with the CCTV footage. That's what I'll be doing today.
I'll take Al out on the local tour. I'll take him where the nebula was.
Yep.
Yeah. Point out, and if Hobbs is around, I can point him out. I can point out other low-level ones like the barman. Was it Manic and the others if they're still around?
Yep, that's no problem. Obviously, Al is a new face, and Todd's been very careful so far, so there should be no problem with that. Maeve is advising that you lay low for a couple of days, but you know you've got to do what you've got to do.
Could we take a wander past this warehouse where they're making the drug, or is it not that kind of district?
It's not that kind of district. No, you're in the next sort of territory, and it's not the place that people wander around really.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Say scrap yards, junk yards, the sort of industrial units that get shut down because of health and safety reasons, but are probably still open. And on the edge of that is a place called a carry, which you've had passing mention of, which is where all the pig farms are.
Yeah, this junkyard area seems like it's going to be a bit more of a covert recon, and we're actually quite good at covert stuff.
Just speaking of carry, by the way, because that will come up in conversation with the girls, because they hear about this woman's body being found in the alley, and it upsets them a bit. This sort of stuff goes on, and what upsets them more is if the person can't be ID'd, then they'll be off to the carry. The corpse will be sent off to the pigs, basically, because nothing gets wasted on the dream.
So look green for pigs.
Mrs. Cole will mention that Craig Woo is, well, he's not exactly up and about now, but he is sitting up in bed. And, you know, because when you spoke to him before, he'd just been sedated, and obviously he was still in shock.
It's just a good job he didn't wear glasses, really. It's a bit lopsided at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think they have any luck sewing the ear back on, because A, it had been laying out in the alley for a little while, and B, no one's got the money to afford that sort of operation.
And didn't Max stuff it down his pants to keep it out of the sight?
Well, there is that as well. Oh, not even in his pocket, just straight down the pants.
All right, I'll give Al the tour and bring him up to speed on the area.
Oh, and Mrs. K does suggest if you do want to stay in tonight, you know, if you don't want to go out to bars and restaurants and that sort of stuff, she's happy to get a meal or maybe order in some takeaway or something like that. Whatever you want, she'll sort out.
Sounds like a plan, that does.
Yeah.
Very nice of you.
So you got that information across to Skinner last night. I think you got that across. You do get a message come in that Skinner can see you on Saturday, sort of early evening.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in a couple of days' time. We're on, what are we? We're Thursday at the moment. So if you want to come over to Maury's Bar and Grill Saturday about 6 o'clock, then he'll see you then. You're guessing he's going to be doing some research or something for you.
Oh, that's good. It gives us a couple of days to lay low then.
Can I at the same time as talking to Mr. Wu, can I do a little bit of research on this old? Do we know where the jelly milk facility is?
Yeah.
In the meantime, is there a sort of starship or space station Google Maps instead of Google Maps, so I can look around the area? That maybe there's a bar nearby that facility that I can potentially spend a couple of days chilling in, see if I can see any odd sorts that are going in and out of that facility.
The only bars in Copper Lane will be on the edge, and they'll be the equivalent of flat roof pubs, if you see what I mean.
Okay.
Basically, you're getting a fight.
That's right, because I'm going to take you, Steph. You can have a fight.
Take our table ninja. Could have a dig into the unions.
Okay. Hang on, have we still got that here?
I don't know exactly what happened to it. I mean, it's going to be looking a bit manky by now. It's been off for a good sort of 48 hours or something, unless it's...
Right, can we get that in the fridge? I have a plan.
Okay, I'm interested to hear.
Okay, I'm gonna not do the jelly milk thing anymore. I'm still gonna talk to Wu, and then I'm gonna go online and do some research in the union and see if I can find any high-ranking union members that are often out and about, but maybe not too well guarded.
Okay.
You want the ear percent? Do you need any more body parts collecting over the next couple of days?
Oh no.
Any particular ones?
A finger would do nicely as well, if that's all right. And then if you could just, I'd go for index. I feel that makes the most sort of appealing of the fingers. But yeah, if we can put the ear in the fridge, please. Or freezer, whatever's better for controlling the ears.
Mrs. K's not too happy with that, but you know, if it's bagged up, well, you'll have a fridge upstairs in your flat anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to put it.
The mini bar.
Well, I'm going to put it in the mini bar in between the tequila.
Have you had the Toblerone yet? The space Toblerone. It all has to be accounted for.
Just remember, if you are going to use it to plant somewhere, the DNA will come back to a guy that's staying here. That's a decent reporter. Yeah, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't know where the jelly milk factory was.
I'm not worried about that. We'll get to that soon.
Blow that bridge when we come to it.
We'll do your chat with Craig Wu now, because he's not, you know, he's still a bit weak and whatever, so he won't talk for long, and is quite open. He's still very nervy and jumpy, and it's good that you've gone in there on your own, because obviously this has been a big shock. The ear it's got a big sort of pad over it. The teeth, they're going to have to get a dentist in at some point. He's got holes drilled in his front teeth, that sort of stuff.
He's looking really good then.
Not looking good. No, he was having a rough time of it. He's a freelance journalist, which you kind of worked out. And he tells you he works for an underground magazine called Xinghuo, or The Spark. And this is basically a sort of magazine that investigates corruption and conspiracies. He doesn't really want to say too much more about it, although Aris, being the professional, will probably work out he really doesn't know too much more about it. As you can imagine, this sort of magazine or this sort of setup on the Dream, it's all going to be very, very secretive and very careful. This was his first assignment, and he'd been sent out to investigate the local drug trade, much like yourselves, and was snooping around Club Nebula. Managed to get in on one of his visits. He went in through the fire door. He snuck in through the fire door, was rooting around, went into a room where there was a woman chained to a bed, and in there he found that data stick. He was just on his way out with that when he got caught, and the rest you pretty much know. And he's having doubts now. He's not really sure if he's cut out for this business.
Okay. I kind of want to recruit him under the wing because I want to do some snooping around the jet. I'm reneging again on my previous plan. I want to recruit him. I want to use him for the jelly milk snooping. So I'm going to go in and basically ask him how he is, see how he's doing, and then I'm going to ask him how much info did you manage to get off of these street gangs? What did you manage to find out?
Well, he didn't find out too much about the jelly milk operation. He knows that they were selling it out of the club. They had the jelly milk lounge set up there. He's pretty sure they had an amount of it stored in the club because he watched the process. Someone would fetch a bottle from out the back. They'd hook it up to that hood attachment that Todd described. Well, you saw because you went through the room yourself.
Yeah. He doesn't know much about us, does he?
No, he knows very little about you other than you're this group of guys who turned up in Hawaiian shirts on a stag do, but you seem to be a bit more than that. It's not daft, but he's not, it's not totally sure who you are.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell him I'm an investigative journalist from the Interstellar Mirror, and I'm looking at uncovering a big crime ring on Prospero's Dream, particularly around jelly milk. Jelly milk's become a famous drug around here, it seems. And I'm looking for contacts and help in the area. And if he's still feeling up to it, I could do with him giving me a hand on snooping around a facility that I suspect is where they're producing the jelly milk.
With a little bit of talk and a little bit of persuasion, and again, this is your speciality field, so you can engineer this quite easily.
Flirting with him outrageously.
Yeah, he's happy to go along with that to an extent. He's certainly happy to scout. He doesn't really want to get involved in anything heavier than that at the moment. His one condition that he does ask, would you happen to have like a spare pistol or something like that he could have?
I'm sure I can get hold of something for him.
Okay, you have got a few lying around, and I think you found one or two. I say found, I mean stole one or two.
Yeah, I'll just give him. I'll give him one of the really fun ones out of Al's bag. Yeah, I'm going to tell him I reckon we can arrange for him to have a little bit of street protection. The Interstellar Mirror, obviously, quite a prestigious newspaper and has a lot of funding, and we can definitely get contacts in the city that can help us out.
You kind of hit the right button with the idea of him now becoming a proper journalist. I mean, more than money or anything else, this is obviously his dream ambition.
Yeah, you can say, if he helps me crack this story, I'm going to make sure that he gets his own column. Page 1, page 2.
Okay. He does say rather grimly that the pistol is partly for self-defense, but also if he gets caught in that situation again, then he'll put one in his own head rather than go through that.
Well, fair enough. Every man's got to have a hobby. So I
do realise you've probably got him killed now. I mean, this guy's going to die, right? I mean, you've just signed his death warrant, but
I'm not. But I'm not here to give a shit about Mr. Wu. Yeah. He's a means to an end for me. I'm here to get the job done. Am I a reporter from the Interstellar Mirror? I am not. He doesn't need to know that.
Maybe a better thing would have been, why doesn't he just have his teeth all taken out and then have dentures, and then don't have to worry about him being drilled again?
Sorry. Would you mind your own business?
Aren't you a psychologist in your response to a guy saying he's going to kill himself as well? Yeah, fair enough.
You're seeming very attached to Mr. Wu.
Well, that's why you're going to get him killed. But that's fine.
I'm not going to get him killed.
See, that's a profession.
I'm just saying, the more this goes on, the more I realise I'm cavorting with a load of murder hobos, but that's fine.
Well, we can get to that when I come back into the...
He's going to die.
He can have my gun. Todd doesn't believe in guns, so he can have mine.
Yeah, you've got more than enough pistols to go around. You have picked a couple of extra ones up, and you did bought a couple from Claude's place, the pawnbroker. I seem to remember as well. The plastic ones, the ones that don't show up on metal detectors. 3D print pistols. You can give him one of those.
So I want to know when he thinks he'll be up and running to go and do some scouting for me, and maybe I can have a chat with Mrs. Core about slipping some stimulants into his drink so that he recovers quicker or feels more energetic. Because I want him to go out and do some scouting for me as soon as I can possibly get him to.
Okay, well, he doesn't feel he's going to be up to anything for a couple of days. I think there's a dentist coming in tomorrow morning to see to his teeth. Once those are fixed, then that'll help. Obviously, is whacked out on painkillers a bit at the moment as well because he's had his teeth drilled.
So what I'm going to want him to do is have a little snoop around those flat top bars that you've been talking about. I'll be in the area as well, providing support.
You may be feeling unwell, had all your teeth drilled out, and waiting for a dentist, and you may be feeling. But just go to these bars; it'll be fine.
Steph, could you let the man cook?
I'm not there, so I'm not judging you. I'm not there.
Whiskey is a known painkiller. So I'm gonna divulge him in the plan. As soon as he's feeling a bit better, we're gonna have a little bit of snoop around this area. There's 2 or 3 bars there that we can have a look through. Maybe we can get ourselves ingratiated into there, and maybe see if we can find any common faces going in and out of the suspected jelly milk factory. I wonder if he knows those bars at all, and does he know of any that have potentially a good view of the jelly milk, the suspected jelly milk factory, or is that something we can find out potentially between the two of us? Maybe one of them's got a balcony.
Craig has not been in that area at all. He's not really been here much longer than you, and his main focus was Club Nebula in Hassani's corner, so he's not really been out of this area as such.
Yeah, beyond that, there's not much else I need from him then, so I'm just gonna, hand him some painkillers and a chamomile tea. Tell him he needs to, as soon as he gets a bit better, he needs to let me know. And then, so then after that, I am going to go and speak to Mrs. Core and see if there's anything she can provide me that could potentially go into Craig's chamomile tea to make him feel a bit perkier, a bit quicker.
She strongly disapproves and said, "Leave him alone." That's all she says.
I'm just going to leave it there. Then Mrs. Core's obviously got some strong morals, and I don't necessarily agree with strong morals. It's not healthy.
Well, just has morals. Just morals, not strong. Just morals.
And I'm going to go and do some research on the bars around the suspected jelly milk factory. I want to see if I can find any that are particularly well placed. Maybe the slaughtered pig, or one of those particularly nice sounding ones.
You're researching the union members and into Copper Lane for the bars and stuff in particular. Radio. Craig Wu is back off to the land of nods. We've got Todd and Al. You're getting the tour of the streets. Eric is with the CCTV. Mac will be doing some sort of investigative work upstairs, looking into a few bits and pieces. That's pretty much it for the rest of the day then. Todd, will you be dining out while you're out? I just wondered if you'd be visiting your favourite dim sum restaurant.
Yeah, I will take Elle to the dim sum restaurant. You'll love this place. Best dim sum. Yeah, some nice dim sum.
It's Xiao Long Bao, it's called.
Yeah, we'll see if they do takeaway if we're shut in for the next couple of days.
Okay, they don't do takeaway, unfortunately, and there is a bit of a queue because this place is really getting a reputation. So by the time you get there lunchtime, you have to wait for a bit. And as I said before, it's quite basic inside, almost cafeteria. But once again, you order the dumplings, and they are simply the best thing you've ever tasted.
I love dim sum.
Okay, so we'll move into the evening and the night. I take it you're going to take Maeve's advice and just stay in.
Yeah, we'll pick up some beers or some stuff.
And you can kind of compare notes and that sort of stuff. You can bring Al fully up to speed on everything that's been going on, show him all your research and all the rest of it. Union members, yeah, you can find out a fair amount on those. They're not too difficult. I'll get some information over to you for that. Copper Lane, really, there's very few pubs, and they're on the estates, on the outskirts of the area. Once you get into the area, there's not really anything. No one really lives there. In fact, very few people even work there now. Most of the places are abandoned.
Well, abandoned still works. We could potentially do some surveillance in an abandoned building.
I can always slip out late one night via the rooftops, not out the main door, go and have a look.
Not too worried about what's in there. I want to get some faces so I can maybe find out where they live.
Yeah, once Eric's pinned down the location and that, I can slip out and go and have a quiet look and just see what the security is like outside the building and around the area.
Well, you will be able to, because we've established this before. Once you know the actual location of the place, you'll be able to pull up the plans. Eric was able to do that before, because all the existing records for everything that was built on the Dream are still around.
We was going to lay low for a couple of days anyway, but I will slip out through the rooftop route that I found.
Your other option to do that is obviously you can send Craig out, but the other option would be to send maybe a drone in or something like that.
But a drone doesn't have teeth.
Nor does Craig.
No, but does Craig.
Well, Craig's not going to be utilisable even if you do use him for a good couple of days. You know, he has undergone something of a shock. He's not a hardened criminal or military guy like you like. He's a student. You know, he's just undergone torture at the hands of a psychotic drug gang.
Yeah, so he's had a hard night, and he'll be fine in the morning. If you die, walk it off. Come on.
You can walk it off.
If we've had this discussion, then I want to go with you and do some rooftop snooping.
No, if you want to slip out with me, that's fine. I'll show you the route that I've found a way out, so we don't have to go through our front door.
Yeah, and you're going to go and check out the jelly milk factory.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in. I want to check out the outskirts. Once Eric's pinned it down, check out the outs. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what I want to do. I want to try and find some doors and maybe set up some. Have we got? I know we've got drones. Have we got any remote cameras we could potentially set up on said doors? See if we can scan some familiar faces.
Yeah, well, as long as we don't have to get too close to do it, I don't mind setting a camera up on the building across the way till we know what the security's like.
So we might be able to audio bug the factory if we can.
I think a discreet drone camera is a very good purchase here.
Yeah. We'll do it tonight then.
No, that won't be tonight. We need to lay low tonight. I was thinking maybe wait until after we've seen Skinner, see if we can pick up some extra equipment, some extra cameras and stuff.
We could send him a list of what we want if you want to put that together, and then if he meets us on Saturday, he might be able to hand it over.
Yeah, that gives him a 24, 36 hours to put it together.
Yeah.
More sort of cameras. If we can work out what the security is, what they're using as their main entrance, and put some doors, and then watch their come-ins and go-ins for a couple of days. Problem with using a drone around something like that, though. I know that the SSA might, if they spot it, it's going to alert them that somebody's. Whereas a nicely hidden camera, with a bit of a bird's nest or something around it, though you probably don't get many birds on space stations.
There'll always be pigeons. They're fucking everywhere.
Centipede nest.
But yeah, a drone could. It only takes one person to spot it at a place like that. They're going to be
We could disguise it, make it look like the kind of general traffic.
Make it look like a seagull.
Yeah, dress it up as a seagull. A large seagull. Space gull, sorry.
What I'm thinking about this area, though, it's not the sort of area that has general traffic and drones around. But then again, if we do the recon first and there are drones around, there isn't a problem. But if it's a quiet sort of no-fly area...
Yeah.
I think you had one remote... You had one camera and one bug, because you were planning on bugging Skinner at one point. And you bought a fairly old, but still usable, a little GoPro camera, audio bug as well. I mean, there are drones floating around, not a huge amount of them, but they're not an uncommon sight. Most of them are probably owned by Tempest or the SFPD. There's not so many in this area because it's basically a market residential sort of area. Most of the people who live here work in the docks. It's not like a high-risk area.
Did you say we had plans for this warehouse, Rob? Or could get them?
So you'll have access to plans through what Eric can hack in the system, and it might well be that Skinner will have some plans or something as well.
I think if Al will spend a while looking over these plans, seeing if he can spot any vulnerabilities that might be exploited. If we decide we want to bring the roof down, where a small discrete charge could be placed to perhaps bring it down, or maybe like an entrance that they might have forgotten about, they can breach through.
Why bring the roof down if we can get a good plan to the areas? There might be some kind of underground passages. But we are on a space station, and may drop it out the bottom of the space station.
And it's a long way down to the planet.
But yeah, there might be some vents and some lost tunnels or something that may.
Oh, I think you can guarantee there's some lost tunnels. Okay, so that sees us through Thursday and into Thursday night. And I'll get that information over for the other bits of research there. Thursday night, Todd, will you be repeating your activities?
No, I'm going to take a night off. Might wait till Friday night. We are laying low. I won't ignore her, but
You don't want to appear too eager.
No, and also I think I need to. Got things going through about this casino.
Oh yeah, did you want to mention that to the others? I think we have touched upon it, but you might just want to.
Yes, I will mention it to the others when we're up in the room away from everybody else, because this is a totally off the books. There's possibility of a lot of cred sticks, untraceable, boxes and boxes of them at the casino, sort of thing that we don't have to declare.
Is this a kind of a Bratva operation that if we?
Well, Bratva own the casino, and according to Jenna, they don't think anybody really wants to mess with them, so security is a little bit lax at times.
I mean, it just seems a bit of a. It seems like we're opening the door to a world of trouble where we don't have to open a door.
No, that's why it's a side job. This is for our benefit. If anybody's interested, I'm going to take a look at the plan. It's my occupation.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we've got exits, the point when it comes when we know we're going to leave.
Oh, definitely, yes. Oh no, it's not going to be something that would get done. It will,
And potentially, there's a way to repay ourselves off the books, if you like.
Yeah, it's a parting gift to us. Let's put it that way. Just before we leave, if it's viable. But yeah. I've not survived this long doing these type of things without knowing when it's a go or not a go. So that's something I will recon and have a look at. I'll put my Sparks suit on and everything, bit of a disguise, and maybe go and play a bit of a high roller one night, just to see what the place is like.
Cool.
So you're back up in your room for the evening. You have your succulent Chinese dinner or whatever it is you've chosen. Not Xiaolongbao, because we say they don't do takeout. And much to Todd's disappointment, and he does bang on endlessly about wonderful these dumplings are. Well, Al now agrees with him. He wouldn't have thought that food could taste so good. Yep, amazing stuff. And they give you free booze as well. You get a free cup of rice wine or sake with your dumplings. Doesn't get better than that.
But tonight we're just settling for spaghetti and Red Centipede.
Nice.
Yes. Oh, Red Centipede. Yeah, there is one in the kitchen sink. So I presume someone's going to chuck that out the window or stick it down the waste disposal.
I'll put it under a glass for Mac.
You're going to put it in his room. Well, Mac won't appreciate that, because he was actually, it will tell you, woken up out of a rather horrible nightmare last night where something was crushing him. He felt like he was being crushed to death and asphyxiated. He found it hard to breathe. And when he woke up, there was one of these centipedes on his arm. So, of course, he flung it off and then picked up his boot and smashed it.
I wasn't going to plant it in his room. I was just going to put it under a glass and tell him there's another one there if you want to play with it.
It's definitely not going near that. We're into Thursday night, Friday morning. There's a couple of you awake early again at about 5 o'clock. Same experience you had last night. You could swear you heard what sounds like a hungry baby wailing. But when you wake up, there's just silence. Well, the ever-present hum of the air conditioning and all the other sounds that you've got used to on the space station.
who had this nightmare before?
It seems to be a thing. I thought I'd heard the shrill crying of a hungry baby, but I don't know. Is there nothing around?
Well, there was that cat that Mac found. They can scream quite high pitched at times.
No, this was definitely a baby. But if there's no babies nearby, I don't know. I assumed it was something outside. I don't know. Someone had a kid outside or something.
Unless one of the girls here is hiding one in their room.
Maybe. But everyone would have heard it, right? Did Mrs. K hear it?
She hasn't mentioned a baby, and that is the sort of thing that if there was a baby being hidden, she would find out about it, you would imagine.
Are we in the morning again now, or?
Yep. Come, 8 o'clock, you're getting ready to go down for breakfast, so we're on Friday morning now. And you're just heading down in the lift because you've got your own little personal lift. So we've got a floor plan here. These are the 2 middle floors, and you're above these. These are the flats with all the other tenants in, as you can see. And you're heading down the lift towards the ground floor in the breakfast room when there's the sound of a scream, a female scream, coming from the second floor, the floor below yours.
Well, I know which one's Jenna's room. Does it?
It does sound like it's coming from Jenna's room or that sort of location, yes.
I will rush downstairs, grabbing both of my extendable batons as I go, flicking them both open, and then joining them together with the lock click that's on them to make a staff.
I'm going to follow as well with the old hidden pistol.
Okay.
I'm going to hang back and sort of stay. I'm going to just watch them go down to the floor below, and I'm going to stay kind of back and stay up on our level, but by the stairs, just kind of keep an eye up and looking back as well, just to make sure there's no something else going on here.
Yeah, I was definitely following. I'm guessing, Al will have a pistol to just discreetly make sure he's got on him.
I think, we're assuming standard operating procedure is you're armed at all times, even when you're in here, because you're all, it's that kind of job, right? You're never more than a hand's reach away from some sort of weapon, and pistols are easily concealed. So.
I'll glance back towards Eric as he's hanging back and say, "Do you need a hand to carry the table down the stairs or anything?"
No, it's all right. I might just go and get a fold-up one and bring it down. Be easier.
Todd is down at the room first. He finds Tyra in the doorway of Jenna's room. She's in a bit of a state. She's not screaming now, but she is sobbing. She's got her hands over her face. She's very upset. The door looks like it's possibly been forced open.
What happened?
Well, I called on Jenna down for breakfast, and I knocked, and there was no answer, and I kept knocking, and there was just nothing, and I got really worried with what happened last night, so I kind of broke in the door and look, and she points into the room.
Oh, so it's you that broke down the door. Okay, that's fine. I'll go in and I'll...
All right, so you've been in this flat before. These flats are all broadly the same. They've got a shower cubicle, a little kitchenette in the corner, a sort of table and a bed. They're not, the worst things ever, but this is not exactly luxury living. And on the floor in the middle of the room lays Jenna. She's not moving.
I will drop the makeshift staff on the floor and go and check pulse.
No pulse.
Do we have a medic?
You did have.
Oh, we've all got first aid, haven't we? Of course. I will. Well, I'll check pulse, not breathing, to see. I'll go for the heartbeat and then start singing "Staying Alive" if need be.
You notice that her lips and fingernails are purple.
Now,
you can try and administer resuscitation, and it has no effect. Eric comes in and will start assisting you. Eric, you're reasonably familiar with medicine and stuff, right? Your immediate conclusion was that this is asphyxia.
Is there any, when you say asphyxia, is there any evidence of her being strangled or anything like that?
You check her neck, there's no marks on her neck. Todd, can you make a SAN roll for me, please?
Oh, I can do.
And can you both take 1 point of stress?
23 is my scan, but is there nothing to add to that, is there?
No. You've rolled 56.
That's not enough then.
So how do you want to react to this? And I mean, you're going to react in some sort of emotional way. That could go to either end of the spectrum. You might open up, you might close down, anything in between.
Todd's not the sort of guy that would close down. Well, look and knows what he can. I said, are you sure we can? I'll try a few more compressions and.
Okay, so Eric, at some point, you're going to have to step in and say to Todd, mate, she's gone. You know, is doing that thing.
I'll kind of just touch his shoulder and say, she's gone, but we need to find out what happened. So let's stop that and focus on trying to figure out what's actually happened here. You know, that's what you're best at.
Yes.
Okay, so you can kind of lead and wait. Maybe you just get him to sit on the bed or something like that, you know, and you can start looking around the room. It's not the tidiest of rooms, but Todd can confirm that that's the normal state. It's the wardrobe kind of set up, that sort of thing. Don't seem to be any signs of a struggle, but there's a small round table that has tipped over, and there's a plastic glass lying in a puddle of water next to it. That's what she's lying next to. She's face up, looking at the ceiling by the table. From your first preliminary examination, you can't see any wounds or injuries. You've got the lips and the fingernails and no marks at the around the throat.
Does it look like something similar to cyanide poisoning or something like that?
Possibly.
The lips and the fingernails and stuff, you know, so it's...
You can hear there's obviously a ruckus because Sammy is screaming now, and you know, there's a lot of crying going on outside, and there's voices, and people are going to be coming up into the room in a minute. Presumably Mrs. K is on her way. So you've got a minute or two if you want to have a look around the room or search for anything, that kind of stuff.
Well, while I'm sitting on the bed, obviously I'm a little bit sort of shocked, but I'm going to glance round the room while sitting on the bed, you know, and start pulling myself together and thinking, you know, I'll check under the pillow, make sure, you know, is there any makeup on the underside of the pillow that somebody smothered her with that?
No, you don't see any trace of that.
Yeah.
Me and Elliot obviously being outside, I'm assuming our earpieces are still connected into Mrs. Core.
I will nudge Aris and just say, let's keep this floor clear. Get this floor clear. Give him some space. And just try and clear the traffic, keep people away apart from Mrs. K and the owners. Okay.
Well, you've got Cassia coming out of her room here. What's going on? What's happening? What's the screaming?
There's been a wee accident.
Is anyone hurt? I've got first aid.
Wait, just go down the stairs and get your breakfast.
Well, are you sure everything's all right?
Hey, we'll sort it out, don't worry. If you see Mrs. K, send her up.
Okay, so she'll be off. A couple of the others are coming up because that scream really rang out throughout. The other two dock workers, Cassia, kind of intercepts them, and there's a whispered conversation, and they're peering over her shoulder. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Oh my God, has someone been hurt? And she ushers them away downstairs.
I think definitely we've got to be looking out for anyone who looks guilty. Anyone that has a kind of different reaction to just pure like curiosity and the obvious bit of concern.
Eric thinks she's been poisoned, basically. So he's gonna make sure no one touches the glass and the spillage area on the table, and kind of just make sure no one interferes with that until we can get some collection bags and stuff.
I've got some bags. I'll pass you some plastic bags.
Yeah, and sort of pick up the glass with like I don't know if we've got any gloves or anything we can use. Yeah, basically use the stuff to kind of collect the evidence so that then we can analyse it to see what's in it. And then, is Maeve there?
No, she's not around yet.
She's not around.
Mrs. K is gonna. Well, you're pretty sure she'll be on the way. The others would have told her. The teacher, Mr. Simchek, he sort of pops up as well. What is happening? What is going on? What is all the noise?
Don't worry yourself. Just go have your breakfast.
Well, what's happened? Someone hurt?
Aye, there's been an accident, but we'll sort it out. Don't you worry.
Oh, okay. So he goes off again.
Eric, where did the water come from? Is there a bottle in there, or is it tap water?
But yeah, so I'll have a closer look at kind of exactly, is there a bottle of water nearby? Is there a jug? Is it just this glass? And the water that's been spilt, is it stained the carpet or the flooring in any way, or is it just looks like normal water?
It looks like normal water. Yeah, tap water or bottled water they probably use here. It's got no coloration, no odour to it, just a damp patch on the carpet. There's no residue as far as you can see in the bottom of the cup.
Is there a fridge in the room?
Yes.
I'll get up and wander to the fridge and see if there's any bottled water in there, or any bottled.
Yeah, go and check the fridge in.
There's a couple of bottles of water in there. There's some cheese, some bits and pieces, that kind of stuff. Yogurt, Cynthia yogurt.
A couple of bottles. What? Either of them opened?
No.
There's a couple of sealed bottles of water in here.
We probably need to get some. That's what I was asking if Mae was around, because we probably need to get some blood samples and whatnot.
Yeah, I think this is probably a job for the PD.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mrs. K turns up at this point with Jazz in tow. Oh my God, what's happened? She rushes in, and it's fairly obvious what the result is anyway. And she asks you questions about what you've seen and what happened. She tells Jazz to go in and comfort the girls, who are both in floods of tears. So he moves into those, and she gets on her e-pad and she's going to call Maeve.
Yeah, good plan.
I think our best bet is to just leave and seal the room.
It's at this point that a small familiar shape comes into the room and has a look around to say, what's going on here? What are you all doing in my house? It's the cat from the other day, and it sort of prowls around the room, has a little look around, ignores the corpse in the middle, but fixates on the curtains at the far end.
It did that in the dining room, fixated on the curtains.
Mm.
I'm going to pick up my baton, which I've joined together at the start. I'll crack them apart, so I've just closed one, got one, and then I'm going to gently lift the curtain with it.
That's pretty normal cat behaviour, though.
Okay, well, the cat joins in with you. It sort of looks up at you as if to say, oh, are we both going hunting? And it stalks across with you. As you flick the curtain open, the cat pounces and catches up in its claws another large red centipede, which it promptly flicks into the air and smashes down.
Are these all roughly about the same size, these centipedes? They haven't got any big or anything, have they? No.
Sort of, 5 or 6 inches, that kind of size. So quite large for centipedes, but not like, that's how big some centipedes are.
I'd suggest to Maeve when she gets here that she takes one of these centipedes with her to the lab as well. Maybe they secrete some kind of poison that is clawed around the glass. So the room was locked because the door had to be kicked down.
No idea. It just seems to be a recurring motif, certainly. Does Mrs. K know anything about these red centipedes?
No, you mentioned them before because, they seem to have been growing more prevalent. And she's stumped, really. She's put down some powder. She had Tekka, the cleaner, have a good look round. Couldn't find any obvious holes or nests or anything like that. The neighbours haven't reported any. And until last week or so, she hadn't seen a single one of these things. But, you're on an enclosed space station. There's going to be infestations of all kinds at some point.
She's not seen them anywhere else, just in this house.
No, not seen them anywhere else on the dream, no.
Just seems very local, doesn't it?
Local centipedes for local people.
Well, I know Mac was carving one up, but nobody's sent any off to a lab or anything.
I was thinking maybe we should get Maeve to do that if she's a contact.
Yeah.
Well, this one, the cat's lobbed up. Is it dead? Is it on the floor?
The cat's got it sort of pinned down with one paw and is sort of toying with it.
Okay. Get a container with a screw lid, and basically get it in the container, and then we'll take it to Skinner and ask him to get it analysed.
Okay, yep. You can do that, no problem.
Because he's got labs access, and he might be able to find out what the hell's going on with these things. And if they secrete any poisons or toxins, then hopefully he'll find out.
Yeah, because if it crawled around the glass or something in the middle of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there's no evidence of any break-in through the window, the doors, nothing like that.
Window is closed. There's no balcony on these 2 floors. You've got a bit of a balcony upstairs. There's no balcony here. So it's just a plain window. It probably even have a limiter on it, so it can only open so far. The door, as far as you can tell, they're plywood doors. They're flimsy doors. It's quite a cheap built place.
Is Mrs. K here?
Yeah.
Is she? Can we just check the CCTV footage from any cameras she's got outside the main doors and stuff like that?
Yeah, she's probably got the hallways covered. There's nothing in the rooms, of course. So, yeah, she suggests, let's just wait for Maeve to arrive, and then we'll all go down and we'll have a look at that once Maeve has checked the scene. She suggests we all come out of the room now and be careful not to disturb anything else after chasing centipedes and rummaging in the fridge.
Well, it was only a quick open. Todd is aware of how to preserve how to set a crime scene.
Definitely, yeah. So Maeve will turn up with Officer Moreno, who you've not seen before. And yeah, she does everything you'd expect her to do. They start taking samples. Obviously, they'll get a forensics team in here at some point. Although Moreno is reasonably well trained in forensics, so he's going to start doing that sort of work already. Her examination of the body, and again, she's not a doctor, but she is experienced, it looks like asphyxiation, possibly poisoning. I mean, people can die of asphyxiation for a number of reasons, right? But she confirms there doesn't seem to be any signs of violence. There's no torn clothing or anything like that. She's just got a sort of nightshirt on. Nothing else in the room looks like it's been particularly disturbed.
Let her forensic team do the job they're meant to do.
Okay. So they'll do a full fingerprint analysis. They'll get one of the ultraviolet lights in, full DNA analysis, and all that kind of stuff.
I'll have a quiet word with Maeve.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, what are you going to tell?
Well, just basically what we were doing. So obviously you will find my DNA in there. I'll give her a brief statement. Yeah, there's nothing to hide really. I just won't mention. Well, I won't mention the casino.
Well, she'll take that down as an official statement. She'll suggest that you, don't leave the area for a little while. Let's put it like that. In fact, the same goes for all of you.
You know where to find us.
Yeah. So she'll come down eventually downstairs where you're with Mrs. K and you're reviewing the footage. I mean, you can go back to sort of when the girls come in. They come in about midnight from their shift at the casino, and they go into their rooms. The doors are shut, and you skim through 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, all the way up to 8 o'clock in the morning, where you see Tira go in and exactly what she said, tap on the door several times and eventually break into it. Not a sign of anyone moving down the corridor.
Nothing on the external cameras over the day or night.
I'll check the outdoor cameras as well, and nothing on those. Again, it picks up the girls coming back at midnight, struggling to get in because, of course, they forgot that the code had been changed, and they're all giggling and laughing, and one of them remembers the new code, and then they all come in, the 3 of them, and that's it.
Unless anyone's got any bright ideas.
No, I think this is best left with the PD. Unless Skinner comes back with anything as well. But I think even if Skinner comes back with anything like that, we just pass the information on to Maeve.
Had the girls been working and then they come back, or they've been out? And they work at, is it a casino?
They work at Caesar's.
Caesar's Casino, yeah. So they're like waitresses, mostly, that kind of thing, bar staff.
Did her ex-boyfriend work at the casino as well?
Yes.
He'd be my prime suspect.
Mrs. Core will mention that to Maeve as well, of course.
Makes sense.
When they came back, were they carrying any bottles of anything?
No, they just got their normal stuff, a bag, and that's it.
So was the bag big enough though that it could have had a bottled water or anything in it?
Yeah, possibly. I mean,
Could have possibly been. I'm just thinking it could have possibly been picked up from the casino because that'd been the only place, where something could have been slipped to her. Especially if what's his name worked at the casino as well, and depending how close the three of them were as well.
You know from hanging around in general that they're reasonably close. I mean, they're work colleagues, but they're reasonably close.
Not likely to kill each other off.
You wouldn't know of any reason for that. I mean, having said that, she, as far as you know, didn't mention anything to him about this cred stick possibility, because you spoke about that with her, right?
Yeah, we had that conversation. People are always looking for a way off the dream and selling information on somebody else to work your way up.
So everyone goes down. It's a very muted breakfast. The girls probably won't come down. Mrs. Core has something set up for them. Even Dean, the docker, who's usually very bright and ebullient first thing in the morning and is very chatty, even he is quiet and morose. And, of course, an event like this shocks everyone. And a sort of atmosphere hangs over the whole place.
Yeah, I just sit there drinking coffee, running things through my head, possible scenarios of why, how, had she mentioned the free cred sticks to anybody, and am I next on the list?
Mm-hmm.
If it is anything to do with that. These are all things that will be running through Todd's thought process.
I'm going to do over breakfast. I'm going to be on my tablet, and I'm going to be running checks on social media accounts about what the Aztec Kings have been up to, what the Razor Dogs have been up to, what the Bratva have been up to. Anything where there's threads or Reddits about those kinds of activities.
Okay.
And just see kind of where we're at, and if there's been any sites of Hobbs, people saying, "Oh my God, he was in this place or that place." Just trying to get a gauge as to what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, there is certainly chat about. It's along the lines of take cover. You can crack into the forums for bar owners and that kind of stuff. They're going to have their own groups, and you can easily crack into that kind of thing. They range from like, what the fuck is going on, to sort of things of, well, the trouble is, if you get out of the area now, it's going to think that you're part of something. Do you stay or do you go? But he is certainly being extremely thorough in questioning club and bar staff and owners and everything else. And, is gathering up all the CCTV he can from these places, it seems. Where they're reviewing that, they don't know. But yeah, people are scared of him anyway. But now this is like it's Ronnie Cray on steroids, basically, or not on his meds.
I come here for a shootout.
It's a fucking rolling pin. So yeah, it's that sort of atmosphere. Everyone's on edge. Everyone's very tense. The Razor Dogs have gone to ground, it seems. Though there have been rumours of a shootout or two over in Copper Lane, probably in one of those flat-roofed pubs that Aris is so keen to visit. There's been a bit of blood spilt.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I'll troll a bit of it like I've done before with, hacking into some Razor Dogs accounts, pretending to be Aztec Kings about how Hobbs is going to kill them all, and then doing the vice versa with the Razor Dogs, and just basically trying to stir up a bit of trouble. If there's a couple of low-level mugs that are kind of eager for a fight, sort of set up a location for them to meet and have their fight if they want to have it with someone else. But just nudging people around using trolling techniques effectively.
Yep, that's all good. And of course, there's going to be people eager to prove their loyalty to the Aztec Kings and Hobbs, so they're more than willing to go and smash some windows and beat some poor sod up who just happens to be walking past and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, you set off a bit of a wave of violence along the sort of Copper Lane Hassani's corner border and a bit over that. And the general atmosphere over the next few days is going to be very tense in the streets. There's going to be less people out in the market even and that sort of thing over the weekend because of this. The good news is that you managed to clean as much of the SFPD footage as you could. You're pretty sure you've got rid of every trace of you on there. The club and bar footage, obviously that is still around, but it's footage from clubs and bars. How good is it going to be? The other word you get as well, there's rumours of, rewards for information. I think, as Todd mentioned earlier, information is currency in this place. Ears and eyes will be open, especially with the lure of money. We've got the lure of money or the threat of violence. It's quite a powerful combination.
That's what I'll be basically very antisocial, just on doing that on the tablet thing, kind of typing and giggling to myself, and basically being very antisocial, like a teenager at the breakfast table.
Keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
All right, what's everyone else doing? Todd is going to get called in at some time to SFPD to make a formal statement and also have his prints taken.
Al will be musing about. I mean, it's a very strange way to kill someone, to suffocate them without touching them. I think he'll be musing that whilst cleaning up the apartment upstairs. It's filthy up there. It's upsetting him. He is cleaning.
I like it. Well, you have had a stag party staying here for a few days, and it's
He'll be like, lads, we don't need to convince us that we're a stag party. There's no need for all this.
It's what do they call it? Method acting.
Yeah, you got to do a bit of method acting, don't you?
Right, well, next time can we be like vacuum cleaner salesmen or something?
a new cleaning business. Well, you're a sort of clean-up crew in a way. I mean,
When Maeve takes fingerprints and stuff, I'm gonna have to, how far are these going into the system?
she has to follow procedures and protocol.
Oh, I know you've got to follow procedures, but are they staying in-house?
Yeah, at the moment, this is a local investigation. She sees no need to send this up the line, so to speak.
You're definitely not going to send it off station, though, are you?
No, she doesn't want to sound grim, but there's a murder every day. As you said yesterday, I found a woman's body in the alley by Club Nebula,
Oh, I'm more concerned of what bells might be triggered on other places if my prints turn up.
Yeah, it'll all be kept local. She sort of looks at you a bit odd unless any new evidence comes to light.
No, you mean evidence to do with this case?
Yes.
Oh, of course, yes. Yeah.
I mean, look at it from her perspective. You lot turn up and the girl gets murdered in the same building. Just saying.
No, I'm just more concerned that if you suddenly send it off somewhere else, it might come back with a different name.
You do overhear while you're there, because the unfortunate Jenna has been removed by now and taken to SFPD. The preliminary report, you sort of overhear this. I imagine you're the sort who hangs around doors, earwigging, and reads documents upside down on desks and all that kind of stuff.
I could, yes. Yeah, and through them backwards and, whatever.
Preliminary conclusion, Jenna died of asphyxia due to the blocking of her windpipe, probably by something introduced in her mouth, as there are no signs that she was strangled. No other signs of violence or sexual assault or anything like that. Yes, and your prints and DNA are all over the place, of course.
The other thing, whilst eavesdropping and familiarising myself with the police station and having a bit of banter with people, if anybody sort of left their ID laying around.
You want to swipe something?
It's SFPD, police ID or detective's badge. Might not go amiss. May come in useful.
All right, you can manage that without too much problem. Just make a note on your sheet. You've got a SFPD ID. SFPD ID.
I've got the kit to change the photo and stuff if need when I get it back.
Yep, might come in handy.
Oh, always wanted to be a policeman.
Okay, Aris, have you got any plans for the rest of the day?
I'm not changing trajectory at all, really. I'm still just wanting to do more research into the surrounding area. So
Okay. Obviously, I'll prepare a full report on that for you.
probably
And,
be upstairs with Al, just watching him clean as well while scrolling on my tablet looking for stuff. You missed a bit. Come on, under that sofa. Come on, what are you doing?
There'll definitely be a list appearing on a door of whose turn it is to do the cleaning next.
There's a chore sheet.
Have you got a little post-it note on your yogurt as well? Owls. Okay, so Todd eventually arrives back from the station. We'll let you know what's happened. Todd, when you go back into your room,
It's been cleaned.
well, I don't know that Al would have gone into people's rooms as such because certainly the kitchen and the living area have been very much tidied up. The magazines are now in a neat pile and not just spread all over the place. The dirty socks have been picked up off of the carpet. But your room, again, because of your background and experience, it looks like it's been rummaged.
Yeah, I was going to say, Todd's usually quite organised with, as in using different personas and legends and stuff for keeping things a little bit itemised and not OCD tidy, but things are in their place and you will notice if anything is out of place.
Yeah, well, it looks like a chair has been moved for a bit. There was a book on the floor that's been moved aside. The weird thing is, it looks like stuff that's all quite low down. Like, it doesn't look like your drawers have been opened. I mean, you're probably the sort of guy who sticks a hair on the drawer and all that kind of thing, It looks like anything that is low down or on the floor has been shifted about a bit.
Shifted far or?
Not really, no.
I'm thinking, sort of something with 100, 100 to a million legs and about 6 inches long and run across it. Would that be enough to move?
Not really to move a book or something, no. No, and certainly not a chair, no.
Got to look for cat hairs. No sign that the cat's got it and done anything.
No cat hairs. No, it looks like your door has been shut. Doesn't seem to have been opened. I mean, I don't know if you'll have locks on your doors up here, but again, you probably have some precaution, a little bit of tape or something. You can tell if the door's been opened.
I'll check the window.
That's shut as well. And neither of the others, I mean, Al and Aris have been in here all day and no one has come in to the best of their knowledge.
I say, I'll ask Al. You've been cleaning. You didn't anti-clean my room, did you? Things have been moved, rummaged, but low level.
I mean, I don't think we saw anything.
I'm going to check my socks just to make sure we haven't got an else health.
Check your socks, shake your boots, all that kind of
dobbies.
stuff. No dobbies. No dobbies. No spiders or scorpions. No centipedes.
Roughly what sort of, looking at it, so we're looking sort of below 18 inches, below 2 foot?
About 5 or 6 inches maybe.
Oh, even smaller than that. So
yeah, kind of very low, yeah.
Bigger centipede. I'll call Al in because he's been doing the tidying around. It's all this stuff and anybody else that's there. This stuff that's moved around. Let's start moving wardrobes and things away from the wall. Get people to give me a hand. Let's just drag this chest of drawers out. Lift the bed up, move it. Everything sort of all away from the walls and into the middle so we can check skirting boards or whatever.
All right, so just from the perspective of the other members of the team, Todd has obviously had a big shock this morning and he's obviously masking how upset he is very well, and he's just asked if you can help him move all his furniture into the middle of the room.
Al will raise an eyebrow at the psychologist, but help.
No, something has been in here and moved things, but sort of ground level.
And just be polite about it. Just what you think. 6
inches or so high, but don't know how big it is. Snakes are not very tall, but they're big and they can move things.
Wait, why don't you go sit in the other room and we'll have a wee look.
Yeah, just check around the skirting board. Just see if there's anything that can come through. I'll go and stand in the doorway.
Okay, you shift furniture around, you have a good poke around, skirting boards, corners, crevices. One of the wardrobes is built in kind of thing, but you can empty everything out, poke around in the corners. No holes, no webs, no strange materials or anything. It's all pretty clean, really.
It doesn't look like there's anything here. Are you sure you didn't move it? I mean, you left in a hurry this morning.
I might have knocked it when I grabbed the other baton. I only tend to carry the one. Possible.
I mean, the only place where you might have some gaps and that sort of thing is with your pipe work, whether that's for your plumbing, that sort of stuff, or heating, and, there's pipes all throughout the building.
I think, Stefan, let's put it down that when I rushed out, I knocked it over and it's just, I forgot about it. But keep an eye on your own places, just in case.
Aye.
I'll fill them in about what I overheard while we're all there on the coroner's report.
Did neither of you see anything that she could have choked on?
One of them centipedes could crawl down.
But that'd still be there, wouldn't it?
Not if it crawled out again. If it blocked the windpipe.
Well, it's only a wee little centipede. It's not a murderous thingy, is it?
Well,
I mean, if she's hacking and coughing, and it can get out, it'd shift.
I think we need to see what Skinner comes back with on that one that we've sent him. It's strange that these things are local to this house, only started a few days before we got here, but obviously Mrs. K was aware that we were coming, so did it coincide with being told that expecting a team? Was the centipede... the night before I spent it in Jenna's room, I turned her down last night. Was she the target?
Do you think it was her?
I don't know. It just seems very strange. But maybe we should set up some surveillance in our rooms.
Yeah. Or double up?
Well, I think we should set up some surveillance anyway.
I was thinking more if we double up, if something comes for one, the other person's going to be there to react.
Aye.
It seems to happen, though, when we're not here, right?
Well, it happened during the night last night. It's just the fact that, was I the target? And that just a coincidence that any one of us, and we've only seen these centipedes in singles. We've not seen them in any multiples.
I'm going to look at getting some cheap cameras and just setting up some surveillance in the rooms anyway. As long as people are happy with that, then, have it on a motion sensor type thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you can nip out to the local market, just as it's closing up, although some places will be open a little bit later. And that's no problem. You can rig that up and hook them into your setup there, so they'll all be recording overnight.
I'll try and rig up a little trap, a little bit of bait, something that would capture some small thing that's going around alive.
Mm-hmm. Well, like one of those sort of mouse traps where they go in end up in a little plastic box or something like that.
Yeah, something of that nature. Something simple that he can rig up. He's not gonna buy it when he can make it himself.
Yep.
I'm going to get some afternoon sleep and stay up during the night, surveillance in my own room. I'll make some, get some coffee and stuff, and then sit cross-legged on the bed, scanning the room.
Have you still got all the furniture piled up in the middle?
No, I'll put it all back. I don't think there's probably not that much of it.
Todd's gone mad.
I was waiting for the combat engineer to rig up a mousetrap, but he's got a massive hand grenade on the back end or something.
A claymore.
Yeah.
A little ball bearing that rolls around and hits a seesaw and the man goes up in the air.
By the time you get all that set up and your bits and pieces and everything else, we're into evening. It's another takeout meal. You're still not gonna risk going out of an evening, I guess. And you can all settle in and wish Todd a happy vigil as he remains up all night on his bed. And I presume the rest of you are going to retire at some point.
Yeah.
5:30 a.m. The rest of you are woken, and Todd, who, is used to this sort of stuff, so he might have been lightly dozing a little bit at some point, but he certainly comes fully to life at the sound of screams and gunshots from downstairs. Sounds like a male scream this time.
I'm straight gone. Flicking open the baton on the way.
Okay, we're running. I'll grab... I presume I've got like a proper gun in my pack. Can I be as brave as to say a shotgun?
Yep, shotgun's fine. Yep, so probably like a combat shotgun. Yep.
We stole a couple anyway.
Well, yes, actually you did, didn't you? You got one from the Club Nebula. Okay, probably quicker to take the stairs.
Yeah, I'll grab his shotgun and then just try and slow everyone down, not let these civvies just rush off ahead. We're a unit. We advance as a unit, stick together.
Aris is quite happy to stay behind the big Scottish man.
A tiny Scottish man.
The tiny Scottish man. We're a big personality.
We're asleep, right? When this happens. We hear it all.
Todd's gone. Whatever.
Yeah. So Todd is going to be first out of the blocks. I think Al as a military man, and Mac, they're up and out in an instant because they're used to, instant call to action kind of thing. So they've grabbed stuff and they've gone. And then Aris and Eric are sort of trailing behind, going, "What? What's happening? What's happening?"
Eric's going to lift up his eye guard, to keep the light out. Maybe sort of look up, see all them rushing out, running around. He's going to take a second to just relax a little bit. Maybe think, sort of lay there for a little while just to see what happens. And if he starts hearing things getting a bit out of control, then he may get up.
Okay.
Got to have his beauty sleep, Eric.
Yeah. Well, the professionals are on there.
Yeah, exactly. I might just get in the way. Basically, Eric's going to hang back and kind of just let them go with it because they know what they're doing.
Two professionals with one enthusiastic amateur in the front.
Okay, so you pinpoint there was a scream and one shot and then another shot and then another sort of choked off scream. You pinpoint it as coming, you think, from Craig Woo's room. In fact, this door opens and Adio pokes his head out, and this door opens and Dean pokes his head out as well. What the fuck was that? And Al is the first on the scene. I presume we're going to knock on the door or rattle the door, which appears to be locked.
If he can push this guy's door closed and just tell him to stay inside, and then he will deal with this door in front of him.
All right. So are you going to knock first, or are you just going straight in?
He's going to give it a light kick first to see if it's unlocked, and then a heavy kick if it is.
Yeah, first kick locked, second kick you smash straight through because they're quite flimsy, and in you go. Craig Woo's apartment, and Craig lays on the floor, face up, a pistol in his hand.
Any signs of anyone else? Al will just do a sweep of the corners.
Nothing. I mean, the room is in the dark, right? So you flick the light on.
Yep.
Nothing seems to be particularly disturbed. Again, it looks like Craig has sort of sat up, got up, fired a shot or two maybe. In fact, in the wall across to your right, you can see a couple of bullet holes. These are quite light pistols, so they wouldn't go through a wall, but they'd obviously make some sort of hole in it. And stepping over to the body, you notice that his lips and fingernails are bluing, turning purple.
I'm immediately going to try and pry his mouth open, see if there's anything lodged in his throat.
Very brave. Okay, well, his mouth is already open. It's opened almost unnaturally wide, and his lips are drawn back, so it's quite a feral look. His eyes are wide open, a look of absolute terror on his face, and his airway is clear as far as you can tell.
And at that point, I'll just shout out behind my back, like, "Clear!" and then just do whatever first aid I can think of.
I don't think he'd have got to the clear before Todd was in.
Okay.
I was just following straight through. I will start looking around the room for something, checking curtains, because that seems to be where these things like to hang.
Okay, you're using your baton to prod the curtain,
Oh, yes.
not putting your hand behind it.
No, that's what extendable batons are for. That and crushing windpipes.
All right, you flick the curtains, you pull them open, you have a good look behind, nothing. Windows shut. Again, no signs of any sort of disturbance. Aris, you're coming along the corridor there.
Yeah, I don't want to go into the room necessarily. Obviously, I think we know the score. It's going to probably been the same thing happened again. I think I'd rather go and have a look around the rest of the building, see if I can find anything that's looking out of order.
Okay, where are you going to head to in particular?
I think I'm going to go... Well, I was thinking of actually going downstairs and maybe even outside, having a look around the outside, see if I could notice anything weird on the outside or anything like that. I know obviously the windows hadn't been tampered with, but is there any other signs of breaking? Maybe there's a vent outside that something's got in, or something looks out of place.
Okay, as you're moving off, we'll assume that Mac is busy with these two. In fact, we'll get those in the same room, and you can hear other voices speaking now from upstairs and downstairs and whatever. So people are going to be turning up again pretty soon. You do hear, as you walk off, you hear a cat meowing and scratching.
It's a cat in the room.
No, it's not in the room.
Where does the cat sound like it's coming from?
It's sat outside Mr. Shemchick's door, meowing and scratching on the door.
Okay. Which one is that on the chart we're on? Is it flat 2?
Flat 5.
Flat 5. Okay. And it's scratching at the door?
Yes.
Okay, I don't actually want to knock on the door in case I alert her, so I'm going to gently just try and open it.
It's locked. It'll be bolted again.
Diabolical. Okay, then I'll knock on the door.
After a sort of minute or so, you hear it unbolt, and Mr. Shimchek appears in his pajamas, putting on his glasses. What's happening? What's going on?
I'm going to say, we've had a bit of a disturbance, and Mrs. Case just asked me to check some of the surrounding flats. Do you mind just letting me have a look inside?
Well, I don't know. What? It's 5 o'clock in the morning. What's going on?
Well, time's pretty irrelevant for things going on, isn't it? Something's kicked off, and I'm going to have a little look around. Come on.
You notice the cat has slipped in. He probably hadn't even noticed, but the cat's gone into the room.
I'm going to, not aggressively, but sort of just barge in.
not aggressively barging.
Yeah, you know what I mean, like a little gentle sort of like, yeah, come on, get away.
Okay, so you're gonna sort of nudge him aside. This old man
yeah, gently, nothing serious. I'm not going for a kick to the plums,
He backs up, quite alarmed, and he looks quite agitated. The room is what you'd expect. It's the same layout as the other flats.
Okay, the light is on.
Bedside lamp is on. He's got some shelves with books and that kind of stuff. The cat is sniffing around.
Okay, is it looking like it's interacting with anything in particular?
Not really, but it's definitely it's bristling. The whiskers are out, the tail's up or flat, whichever way it goes.
I'm going to ask the gentleman if he's noticed anything tonight.
I noticed you coming into my room. This is outrageous. I'm going to speak to Mrs. Core about this. How dare you burst in here? This is outrageous.
Right, calm down, old boy. We're just trying to make sure you're all safe.
I'm perfectly safe.
I'm going to have a little wander to the far end of the room and see if anything catches my eye. As in down the... I'm assuming there's a window at the end.
Okay, nothing out of place. Window, if you have a little look, are you pulling the curtain aside?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, brave soul, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, if a DM gives you a cue, you gotta flirt with it, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
The window is shut, and all you see outside is the pale reflection of your own face.
I'm gonna open the window, stick my head out, and have a little look to left to right.
There's nothing, and he is continually agitated behind you. He's coming up to you. Please leave. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Why won't you leave me alone?
All right. In that case, then I'm going to shut the window, give him a pat on the back, and go, fair enough. If you're next, don't come crying to me. And then leave the flat.
Okay, you're going out. As you're going out, you see him slump into a chair.
All right, I'm gonna. Who's outside? Is anybody outside in the corridor? Oh, only Mac, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to. What, does he look like he's having some sort of medical distress?
He does, yes.
Oh, good. I'm gonna have to go back in then. I'm gonna go back in and give him a little once over, see what's going on. Does he look like? I mean, the first thing I'm checking is the fingernails and bits and pieces. Does it look like this is the same thing that's happened in the other instances, or is he just an old man that's having a bit of a stress reaction?
You would guess it looks like he's having some kind of attack. His hands are clutching the arms of the chair. His head is rolled back. His eyes are rolling. He's gasping for breath. There's something happening with his chest, perhaps.
Right, so I'm gonna grab him by the lapels and put him on the floor into some sort of, first aid position while investigating the body. And I'm going to shout out into the corridor to Mac to go and get some help, because I'm only first aid trained. I'm not, there's a limit to my medical knowledge.
Okay.
I don't know who's the closest that would be.
It's alright, if he does go, we can pin it on whatever's killed the other two.
My murder hobo streak continues.
Yeah, I'll have one in my bag. Some purple paint.
So, as you grab him by the lapels and lift him up, you feel his whole body goes rigid. His spine arches, his head is thrown wildly back, and his mouth opens and opens and opens, and something moves inside.
Okay, so I'm just going to pull a pistol, go underneath the chin and shoot.
As you're going for your pistol, this huge centipede type creature comes impossibly, horrifically out of his mouth, and his kind of his body is fitting and shaking as this thing comes out and comes out and comes out and comes out.
I'm freaked out.
Okay, you make a sanity roll first, and you can have 2 points of stress as well.
I'm still trying to put an end to this centipede. I'm not having it. 2 points of stress and a sanity roll. It's a normal sanity roll, no advantage or disadvantage. Bang. There we go. That should go. It's a terrible failure. 90.
Yes, okay, so that's not a good result. What are you going to do? We've got, basically, you can, fight, flight, fear. I think the fight you were going for, but that's not going to be the desired outcome, unfortunately.
I'm definitely still going for fight, unless I've been stopped in any kind of way, even if I've just got to hit it with the gun.
Well, at the moment, you're kind of looking at this thing, just like, you're scrabbling for some sort of explanation. This is impossible. Something that big cannot live inside someone that size.
So I probably don't have the wherewithal to get the gun in a good position to fire it in any good sense, especially because it's only a concealed gun, so you probably want to be fairly accurate with it. So instead of that, I'm just going to give the old boy a swift kick, push him back down. Well, no, he's laying down, isn't he? So he's probably sat back up. So I'm going to give him a kick just to get the centipede thing away from me, and then go for the door.
And you can hurl him back. There's a thud. There's a nasty crack as the back of his head hits the wall, and you see him slumping down. And as you exit the room, the last thing you see is the tail end of this vile creature exiting his mouth, and then it's gone somewhere.
Excellent. So I'm going to shout to the lads, "Oi, get in here quick! It's one of them centipedes, except it's a bloody massive one. It's taken over this guy's body. What the hell?" And then I'm hoping that some of the other boys come flying in. I'm hoping that Todd and Al hear that.
Okay.
Sounds like a job for Eric.
If I'm starting to hear kerfuffle from downstairs, obviously I'm getting up and getting ready. And once I start hearing Aris kind of start screaming, shouting in a slightly manic way, then I'll head down there and kind of have a look and see what the hell is going on.
As them to arrive, then I'll give them a quick breakdown of what's happened. I've gone in there, to check on the old boy, and this massive centipede's come out of his mouth. I think it's killed him. I've only managed to kick it away so it didn't get me. I don't know where it's gone. We're gonna have to try and find it. I think that's what's been killing people. I'm probably not going to be in a position to want to be going in first, so happy for Eric or Todd to...
Aris has squeezed himself up against that wall as far away from the door as he can get, and he's pointing at the door with a very shaky hand, and it's a giant centipede come out of his mouth.
I'll look at Al and just say to Al, have you got this?
He'll just nod, grab his shotgun, and head into the other room.
I'll step out, because I was last in, and head back to probably arrive at the same time as Eric.
So you've got the doorway is just ajar. There's a very faint light. There's a sort of bedside lamp on in the room. So the corners of the room will be dark and gloomy. Who's going to go in first?
Is it bigger than the ones we've seen already?
Way bigger. You're not listening. I said it took over his whole body. It's a massive bloody thing. Come on, use your brain, man.
Does it look big enough to have moved things around on the floor in your room?
Well, you better get in there and sort it out, Todd.
I am. See, I told you something had been moving things around in my room. I'll take out my second extendable baton and dual wield them. I think rather than click them. No, I'm going to click them together to make the longer staff. I might need a further away pokey stick, and then I'll kick the door and staff in front, as it were, and sweep with it. So if anything's likely to leap up, it's going to get wafted away.
Okay, you're going in kind of swinging, basically.
Yeah.
All right, you look to the left, you look to the right, you look ahead. Anywhere else you want to look?
Up.
You look up.
With my mouth closed.
With your mouth closed, very good. So you see Charles, the teacher, Sinchik, slumped against the wall. He looks like he's unconscious. His mouth is open and he's got like sort of drool, blood-stained drool coming out of his mouth. There's a mark in the wall where he hit it with his head. But he's at least out for the count, maybe worse, who knows. You look hurriedly around the rest of the room and you can't see anything. There's nothing moving, at least.
I look under the bed, poke under the bed. Is there a separate bathroom?
It's just, it's like a single sort of little room, shower stall and a toilet sort of thing.
Yes. I'll check that.
Okay, the toilet lid is up.
I'll flush it anyway. In case it is, it will send it a bit further away. Is it like a system with where I can flip the top off just to make sure it's not? Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, you can take the system lid off, have a look. That all seems clear. That's filling up. Al, what are you doing in Craig Woo's room? You sort of standing watch over the body? You having a search around?
I'm guessing my attempts at resuscitation have been fruitless.
I'm afraid so, yes. Poor old Craig.
Yeah, he'll have a look around the room, find the gun that we gave him, because did we hear 3 gunshots? So make sure he fired all 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then just have a wander around the room, see if there's anything out of place. Checking windows, because the door was locked, so probably not in through the door. So do the windows look secure?
Okay, can you roll a percentage dice for me, please?
Yep.
And just tell me what you get.
91.
Oh dear. So you're checking the window, you pull the curtain aside, the window is shut. You look around the rest of the place. He's got a little desk with his laptop on it. There's the shower stall. There's the toilet. And you think, perhaps you better check under the bed. So you bend down and you're looking under the bed. As you do so, you feel something touches you on your shoulder.
I think it's elbow time. He's just going to fling his elbow back towards the direction of whatever's touched him.
Okay, can you make a combat roll for me, please? That's your strength with any bonus for combat skills.
Would that be military training?
Yeah, we can put that in because there's a bit of hand-to-hand involved in that, yeah.
So we'll do this. Strength, not that. I got a 74, I needed a 42.
Okay, that touch becomes heavier and something lands on your back with a sort of soft plop. It's heavy. It's like you've had a sort of blanket thrown on you, but it's heavy and it's also sharp, and things are digging in to your skin through your t-shirt, and something begins to wrap itself around your neck.
It is going to scream help and then just fall on his back. Just throw himself onto his back.
Okay. I guess Mac is outside the room here, so he's going to be the first one in. What are the rest of you doing? Aris is still sort of backed up against this wall.
I'm going to be last because I'm in the other room somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Eric?
I was looking for the centipede with Todd, wasn't I? That's where I was left. So, do I hear the screams from Al, or do I hear it? Or do I hear what's going on with him?
You'll hear the screams from Al, like, "What the fuck? Get this fucking thing off of me!"
I'm going to kind of look both ways, look at Todd, look behind me for Al, and then Todd just seems to be kind of flushing toilets and things, so I'm assuming he's okay. So I'm going to, he likes going to the toilet, so I'm going to then go towards Al, I think, and just see what I can see. I know he said he fell on his back, but can I actually see anything around him, anything on his neck or anything like that?
Okay, so as you and Mac come in, yes, Al is on his back. He's sort of half on the bed, half off the bed. Wrapping around him is a red centipede that's about 6 foot long.
Okay, so we definitely see it.
Do you both want to make sand rolls, please?
Suspect that'd be a good idea.
Is that me as well?
Yep. I'll make one for Mac.
I've not passed a single roll so far. 82. Which is, it may come as some surprise, more than my sanity.
I guess it might be. Yeah.
Well, I failed mine by 11.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit better. Mac is okay. The cool, level-head old warhorse, seen it all, been there, done it, is actually okay. Al, what's your reaction going to be to this? Your gut emotional response? No thought involved at all.
Oh, violence.
All right. So you're going to start flailing around and trying to grab this thing, and
Yeah.
okay. Right. So you reach up and you're grabbing these spiny, shiny legs, and they're all wrapping around you. You feel the body, the chitinous body, sort of wrapping around your neck. You feel these legs digging into your skin, all down your back, all around your neck. So you're in quite a lot of pain. We'll get to the damage in a little bit. And in a frenzy, you're just trying to pull this thing off, but you're in a very weak position, and it is quite strong. It's almost like an anaconda, the way it's starting to wrap in and squeeze around your neck. Mac draws his gun, but he's in a difficult situation because you're flailing about so much. He can't really get a clean shot at it. Eric, what's your gut emotional response here?
Apart from wanting to maybe have a bit of sick in the mouth, seeing that Mac, I think, has got a gun. Was it Mac has got a gun? I'm going to try and jump on Al and try and hold him still so that Mac can get to him easier and the centipede. So, just basically try and kind of pin him down so that he's kind of not writhing about so much.
All right, with a little bit of hesitation, because you did fail the roll, but it wasn't by much. You force yourself forward to get near to this creature, and you maybe grab hold of Al's legs or something, and you try and holding him in place. As you do so, the other end of this thing whips up and brushes across your face, and even just the touch of it, the smell of it, the feel of it, makes you sick.
Ugh, putrid stuff. Yeah.
Al, sorry, can you take 5 hit points worth of damage, please?
Oh, yep. Shoot it, you bastard!
Mac is moving in. He's trying to get a clear shot. At one point, it even hits it with the pistol, but it just bounces off. This thing has got it's like plate armor, basically. The antenna are waving around. The pincer at the back hasn't really come into play yet, but that's clacking in a very horrible way.
Where I've got hold of Al, can I pull out my pistol and then the centipede, I guess, is wrapped around him, coiled? Is that right?
Yep. So it's like around his chest and then around his neck.
I'm going to carefully place the pistol against one of the coils, the barrel effectively, pointing, if I can, or hopefully, away from his chest, kind of going through it towards the wall, and pull the trigger. Because I'm kind of slightly perturbed. I'm being a bit sick, and I can't. Obviously, it's too strong to pull off, so I'm going to try and just put the muzzle up against the coil that's around his chest.
Very carefully.
Try and angle it so that it's going to shoot away from him, and then pull the trigger. Because this is a soundproof plan where nothing can go wrong.
Okay, now normally to get a combat roll here, if you're putting your pistol against someone and pulling the trigger, you wouldn't even really need to roll. I mean, we might roll to see if there was a fumble. However, this is not a normal situation and you're already teetering on the brink. So just a straight combat roll. What do you need and what do you get?
This is where it all could go horribly wrong, but...
Please don't kill me halfway through the first session.
I've got a combat of 37. There's just a straight roll, yeah?
Yep.
You bastard.
90. Oof. Oh dear.
Bang!
Okay, well, you were trying to angle it away from him, so, but 90. I think that one is going to skim Al on the way through. It kind of deflects. The pistols you got are like 2.2s, right? They're quite light. So it sort of deflects off the chitin and nicks Al on the way out for another 3 points of damage. Welcome to Prospero's dream, Al.
It's a warm welcome.
Can I get to the room?
You can come in on this round, yeah.
I'm going to come through the door. I'll see what's happening. So you say this thing's sort of wrapped round him?
Round his chest and neck at the moment, and you can see little bits of blood through his shirt where the legs are digging in.
Where he's been shot.
He's been shot.
I've got my 2 batons joined together, which makes about a 5-foot staff. I'm going to feed it between Al's body and the creature, forcing the other end of the staff into Mac's hands and say, tourniquet helicopter, and start twisting and see if we can break it in half.
Okay, all right. The appliance of science. That will be, I guess, a strength roll. And I'll roll for Mac. Let's see what we get on that.
Yeah, under its body, leaving each half against each half. Well, hopefully Mac and myself between us might be able to, using its own body to crunch against itself as we twist.
It's very strong.
Are we on straight strength?
Yeah, straight strength. Oh, Mac rolls a 0-4.
Hey, good on Mac.
13 over mine, 14 over.
Okay, that's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. So from Mac's end, he gets a bit of leverage. Maybe you're more the anchor man. I said anchor there. You're the anchor man, and Mac starts working it. So he can.
He's got his body behind it. I'm pulling.
That's it. The old push and pull. All right. Well, he starts to leverage a bit of it away from Al's chest. But we've still got it wrapping around his neck.
I was hoping the intention would be to just keep spinning it and wrapping it till it snaps.
But it's so twisty itself. Anytime you twist it, it will just untwist a little bit, sort of thing. It's 6 foot long, remember. By the way, can you make a SAM roll as well, please?
Oh, made it. Just
21 on a 23. Yep, you're fine. You've been through enough harrowing stuff in this last day that this barely phases you. Oh, giant centipede. Okay, let's deal with that. All right, so you've got a bit of daylight now. I mean, Eric could possibly try another shot now.
There is a shotgun in the room. Is there a table?
He's going for a table.
Don't give me those ideas. I'm going to try and sort of now there's a bit more of a gap. I'm going to try and stick my gun in the gap so it's not so near Al, and give another shot. See if I can do that.
Okay. You can roll with an advantage this time because you've got a better idea of what you're doing and you've got that space. Effectively, you can put your gun under it.
Yeah.
So it's facing away, so you're not going to hit Al unless you roll a complete fumble, of course.
Oh, 2. Have some of that.
Okay, this shot hits home. It enters into the chitin and a horrible pussy light brown ooze sprays out across your hand that smells absolutely disgusting. You're sick again, but it does make the creature release Al, and it's off. It's away. This thing moves like a thing that's 6 foot long has got 100 legs.
Where does it go?
It's heading for a corner, the far corner of the room.
Okay, so I'm going to keep shooting at it basically when I get the chance.
Okay, you can fire off. Roll just combat again, and we'll take that. You can get 2 or 3 shots off as it goes. Yeah.
Oh, missed by 10.
All right, so 3 shots whistle off. You don't know if they do anything or not as the thing goes into the corner. Sorry, Todd, what was that you said there?
I was going to scoop up the shotgun double barrel, just give it both barrels into the corner as well.
Okay, can you give me a speed roll, please?
No, I've dropped the shotgun as well. I've kicked it out of the way.
All right, so you don't manage to reach the shotgun in time. Yeah, it's that thing again, as we said before. You bend over to pick it up and you kick it under the bed, sort of thing. So yeah, not good. Okay, well, the thing sort of disappears into the corner and out of view.
Somebody stick a light into that corner.
Yes, you can. You do notice that where the pipes are, there's a small gap. It doesn't look like the sort of gap that something that size could get through, to be honest. More a mouse or a rat could probably get through it. But nonetheless, there is no sign of the thing.
It could have squeezed itself in. I have to tell Mrs. K we're going to have to start ripping the plaster off, ripping the walls out.
Speaking of which, the boss is here. So she comes upon a scene where Aris is leant against the wall going, down there. We've got these two sort of trying to poke their head out of the doors and say what's going on. The twins are out. If she looks in, well, we'll come to this room in a moment, but I guess you're going to start coming out of this room now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm backing off, holding my gun, and I'm just kind of looking. I'm sweating, and I'm just kind of like, it's gone in the walls. It's there. It's in the walls. And I'll probably fire a couple more shots into the wall.
For the first ever time, you hear Mrs. Court Square. What in the absolute fuck is going on in my house?
It's in the walls. It's in the walls.
Jazz comes up and restrains you. You get those other couple of shots off, then he grabs your wrist in an iron grip and just shoves you up into the corner here and just growls in your ear, calm down.
I'll start looking at Owl's looking quite wounded. Well, crushed with a bullet hole.
Yeah, he's like on his hands and knees, just like coughing, spitting out. Like he's probably got some of this rank stuff from the centipede in his mouth, trying to just spit it out. And then where did he get grazed? Arm?
So he's got bruises around the throat. Mm-hmm. He got grazed in the ribs, left side.
Okay.
And he's got these sort of little perforations where the thing's legs dug into him. And some foul-smelling pussy ichor across his face.
I think he's probably shoving Todd away and looking for his shotgun. Where is that bastard?
No, sir. He's a little bit short on the top. I'm going to drag him towards the bathroom and throw him under the shower and turn it on. Get that muck off your face. We don't know what it does.
Yeah, I mean it's a compelling argument. He'll scrub away, get his clothes off, and just
whoa.
Look away.
All right, it is almost manically, he just rips his t-shirt off and chucks it, and he's just splashing water on his face and rubbing himself down with lotion or soap and frantically cleaning himself.
And really getting in like the wounds from the thing.
Yeah, and all the time he's coughing and spluttering. He is very croaky in his voice. He's lucky not to have had his windpipe crushed, basically.
Does he have any mouthwash?
Whatever's in that bathroom, it's not our room, is it?
No. It was Craig Woo's room.
He didn't need it anymore.
Oh, he'll have bandages and stuff though, won't he? Because he was injured.
Yeah, but they were applied by Mrs. K and her team. So. They can grab Al and get him downstairs to get him cleaned up. Yeah. Well, Jazz is calming Eric down. Then Sane will come in and just come with me. Come on, we'll get you cleaned up downstairs, kind of thing. Mac is still looking around the room. He's searching in the corner. He's kicking stuff over. He's pulling things out. And Craig Wu remains lifeless on the floor, and his lips and fingernails are now purple.
I will definitely not leave the room without a shotgun. Now he's a bit paranoid.
You can bring that with you. Yeah, just make sure you point it at the floor.
He's got good trigger discipline. He's got military training.
I'm sure he's highly trained. Yeah. So, well, we can leave it there for the moment. We've kind of resolved that scene anyway, but questions still remain.